Well, good morning. Been a while. I started filming this video a couple days ago. Done a cold start on the beast back here. We've been getting her wrapped up in a little more. If you look through the windshield there, you can see that the console's back on the dash. And I apologize, we got a lot of traffic today and probably making a lot of noise. A little bit of wind. This morning it's 35 degrees here and feels like 28, so it's not extremely cold, but it's cool enough you'll want a jacket and kind of work through it. It's gonna be a little chilly today. So anyway, a couple days ago I done a cold start on the truck. I initially thought it was about 34, 35 degrees that day. It was actually 39, and done a cold start on it. Hadn't been plugged in. It's sitting here tonight. Let me rephrase. It sat here last night and was not plugged in. So what I am going to do, I don't have a cord that'll reach from the power out to the house, so I've got my EcoFlow Delta out here. We're going to plug it in. We're going to leave it plugged in for about an hour, and then we'll do a cold start on it. So let's get that wrapped up. In the meantime, watch this video, the cold start without it. Good morning, guys. It's a balmy about 35, 36 degrees here in the Tulsa area this morning, and I've had it out driving it. Well, not today. It's going to be a cold start morning, so we're going to switch you around here, and we're going to do a cold start on this beast. And I'm going to try to do this in a one take. Oh, I got to find what I done with my keys. And we're not exactly finished with it in the wiring. So we got our battery disconnect up here. All right. And for the record, this will be the battery switch soon. I just haven't finished doing all that. So let's give it a glow plug cycle. Turn that blower off. Give it another glow plug cycle. And let's see how she starts. Well, she's trying. You know, if I'd plugged it in, it probably would have made a whole lot of difference. The old IDIs are a little on the cold-natured side. Man, that's close. Let's try it again here. Well, there she goes. We'll let that beast warm up a little bit, and we'll take a trip to town. Well, I left the Osmo Pocket in the house and came out to get in the truck and go to the store. And I'm too lazy to go back in and get the Osmo Pocket. So we're on the iPhone now. So we're gonna get out of the driveway here and excuse me, we'll go for a little drive down the road. the house and lay the Osmo Pocket down and visit the facilities, and then come back out and we're gonna go get some caffeine. Okay, caffeine's acquired. Let's ease out of this parking lot and get back home. Since I'm on the phone and don't have any way to support it, I'm not going to do a whole lot of videoing. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. And just like that, we're home. So take the coffee and the breakfast in. I got coffee for the mother-in-law as well, so got to take care of her, and got Dr. Pepper for the wife. So got to take care of everybody, and then I'll come back out and go back to work. All right, if you can see, it's about 9:52. We pulling about 850 watts off of the EcoFlow, and we're going to let it sit here for about an hour, and it looks like about an hour is going to kill my EcoFlow battery. That's pulling quite a bit of juice, so we might look into it at the 30-minute mark and see where the temperature is in the radiator, because that water will get, as it gets hot, it works its way into the radiator. So we'll check that out, and then we'll do the start after that. So stand by. Well, while we're waiting on this EcoFlow to run the block heater and heat things up a little bit, I'm going to work on cutting some insulation to finish the last little bit in the ceiling, and put the FRP up on the last piece there on the ceiling. So I'll leave this running, and we'll do a little time-lapse high-speed thing. Not exactly how I intended that to break, but it broke nonetheless. Take this inside and do it inside. I'm not going to take you guys with me. So what I'm working on now is I got the last piece of FRP cut to go on the ceiling, and I don't know if it'll show up in the video, but I've scribed a line with a pencil here. We're going to do another one. That's the ridges in the ceiling where the screws will go, trying to keep it nice and neat so I'm not poking extra holes, missing the structure for mounting that to the ceiling. So we'll show you more later when we get a little more done. I'm going to let it roll for a little bit longer. Alright guys, 10:38, 38 degrees. If you can see it, it's a little hard there. 38 degrees. We're a little over our 30-minute mark. If you want to see the time, 10:38. We started at 9:52, I believe it was. So we're going to do a a cold start now, and mind you, we've got 30 minutes on the block heater. So let's see how it turns out. Now it's really noisy. We'll talk more about this when this quietens down a little bit. All right, guys, we got her lit off. She's sat here and run 20 or 30 minutes, got some heat in her. I'm gonna shut her down and we'll talk about that cold start. All right, let's talk about the cold start real quick. I got a low battery on the Osmo Pocket. All right, we've had to switch cameras around. I've run out of juice. So basically, we done a cold start a couple of days ago. No ether, no block heater. Didn't start too bad. It's approximately 39 degrees. It had been down into the low 30s overnight. When we done that start this morning, as we seen a little bit ago, we had about 34 degrees, some nice cold wind, still windy outside, still cold, but we give it about 30-40 minutes on the block heater, and made a big difference in the start, in my opinion. These 7.3 IDIs are known for their cold start issues. So when you have that issue, you got to plug them in. In a future video, I'll show how some of this is wired in, so that the way the ambulance done it is there's a plug under the hood where the block heater plugs in. It runs to a switch down here behind the driver's seat. You turn that switch on, and the intent is when the shore power is plugged up to the ambulance, that switch is turned on, it turns the block heater on and keeps the block warm while the ambulance is plugged into shore power. Now, I'm going to wire that up a little differently, and it will ultimately be wired into my inverter that's going in, and I will have some sort of a way that I can limit it, probably change that switch out for a timer. That way it's not sitting there just running all the time. Pulls about 850 watts, so it's not a high current draw. My EcoFlow that I was running that off of is a EcoFlow Delta 2. Started out 100% battery. After about 40-45 minutes of running that block heater at 850 watts, we were down to about 16%. So we used 84%, and I mean that's a big current load. And well, I'm contradicting myself. So the Delta 2 Pro that I was running, the EcoFlow Delta 2 Pro, I ran 850 watts through it, which is what it takes to power the block heater. And that 850 watts, while it's not high, it's enough that EcoFlow, it's going to tax it pretty good. I think they're only designed for about 1,000 watts, and that 1,000 watts is going to carry it about an hour or so. So we used 84% of it, so it was at 16%. I've already taken it back in the house and plugged it back in to get it charged back up. That way I have it for future use. Anyway, so we see the cold start situation, what we got going, and I'm going to do some more work here in the back today. I'm going to get that final piece of FRP up on the ceiling, and probably start putting some more Asdel up in various places in the back of the ambulance. So I'll take you along for the ride as much as I feel like fighting with the camera. If not, at the end of the day or maybe tomorrow, I'll do a walkthrough and put everything together what we've done. You're currently sitting on the dash, and all the dash is put back together in here. It looks a little different than it did. Unfortunately, I don't know how much video and pictures I have, but I'll try to get some of that and kind of superimpose it so that you can see what difference it's made. Obviously, the main part of the dash has not changed. This control console has changed, and I think I've done a video where I've showed some of that, but got it all wired up and working. When I got it, the amp meter, the factory amp meter, it was wired backwards. The voltmeter worked, the amp meter worked, it was just wired backwards. So it always showed a draw instead of showing it charging. Now when you turn the key on, it shows a draw, which is the glow plugs, and then when the glow plugs quit, they go into that little pulse thing that they do where they're cycling to keep the glow plugs hot for just a little bit. And when that times out, then the draw goes from, I think it's about 200 amps, that it falls back to about 100, and then as the battery charges back up from taking the load of starting, it comes back and it sets about 45 amps is what it's putting in. Pretty normal. There's a few loads on the deal, and I've seen it down as low as 20 amps going out. So everything's working great now up front. Now I need to continue in the back. We'll do some more looks at what all we've got done, and then either later today or tomorrow. So stand by and let's have some more fun with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting here in the ambulance, and if you can't see, I'm working the ambulance too. So that's the cool thing about working for a rural EMS service. You can have some downtime to goof off and do some crazy things like what I'm doing here. So, but anyway, just wanted to come in at the end of the video here now and show you what we've got done, because I feel like I've gotten quite a bit done. And it may get a little bubbly. I'm going to try to keep that cut out. I'm trying to keep some extra light going so that it doesn't get too dark. And by the same token, I don't want to keep my eyes squinted from the light being too bright. So anyway, let's go over what we got going here. If you look right here behind me, you can see I've got part of the Asdel started gluing up. I still got to glue, the sides and the bottom down. I'll flip you around and show you that in a second. And we'll flip the camera here. And if we look up front now, we can see right up there, that piece. That's the last piece of the FRP on the ceiling. Let me turn this light around now so that it's facing the other direction, putting some light out. Alright, so as we come up, it ends here. Yes, it ends short of going all the way to the front. The key here is I'm going to have a cabinet here and down. So the cabinet will come down here and then come down to here. That way to cover the electrical box. Not a lot's going on there. I have managed to get the power ran up here and power run. These work the relays, which work the stop tail turns. So if we turn around back this way, try to go slower and make it less nauseating. There's that Asdel on the cabinet. I've got it glued and clamped at the top, and I'll pull it out, put some more glue behind it, and clamp the sides and bottom I run out of clamps, so I don't have a whole lot of clamps. If we look down here, we got Asdel on the bottom of the little stem wall for the bed there. If we look back, the white is a 35-gallon freshwater tank. Bed platform, there's some other miscellaneous supplies and stuff stacked on there still. Whole lot cleaner than it has been. Turn you back around here where I can talk to you. And I need the light back. Alright, we're going to go up front. And we're going to talk about some of this up here, because this was a major rework, I feel like. So, let me get moved around here. Yes, you can see my actual bus out there that I run. So, looking at the dash now, I'm going to turn the batteries on. And let's turn dash lights on. So you should be able to see some lights there. Let's see if we can kill this and see if it makes a difference. Yeah, you can see some lights there. So anyway, we'll turn that light back on so that we can talk about what we got going on here. So if we look, this is the switch panel that did run all the ambulance stuff, and I think I might have showed pictures of it, but now we got it in and wired. So horn, these two are auxiliary lighting that will be like spotlights, off-road lights, what these are. Transmission temperature gauges, this is coming out of the transmission, this is going back into the transmission, that way I can monitor how well the cooler is working. If I see that the transmission temp is coming out at say 220 and it's going back into the transmission at 200, then I'm only got a 20-degree drop, and that's not a real good indicator of the health of the transmission cooler. The E4OD that Ford put in these things, they're pretty picky on transmission temp, so we gotta monitor that a little better. Then we got a switch here. You can see it comes on the light. This is the override switch for the transmission fan, cooler fan. So the cooler's got a fan on it, and when it hits, I think it's 180 degrees, the fan comes on. But if I know I'm fixing to be pulling a hill or something, I can turn that on. It'll turn the fan on automatically, and override that temperature switch. It just gives me an option to put a little extra cooling into it. This last switch here, I don't know if you can hear it, but when I push it down, the first click, that turns it on. And if you listen, you can hear a little click there. That is part of the high idle circuit, and it is combined with the Kussmaul Vortec idler down here, and it's designed to eliminate the interconnect with the transmission, and so it's only tied into the brakes. So when you hit the brakes, it'll drop the high idle out, and you have to reset it with this switch. Elsewise the high idle won't work. And last but not least, this switch here, I don't like it. It's backwards to me, but it's the kind of switch I wanted. I wanted a rotary switch for it, and this is the battery switch. So I can turn it on. It turns the batteries on. There's solenoids under the driver's seat that control all that, which was the original design for the ambulance. Got my backup camera in. Here you can see, just you're looking straight out the back. We're looking at the kitchen door here in the fire station. And if I push it again, now we're looking down pretty much right at the tailboard. You can see the tailboard in the bottom of the screen here. And that's intended that way so that when I get my trailer hitch put on it and I'm pulling my Jeep on my trailer, it allows me to watch the hitch and watch the front of the trailer for connecting the trailer or for any other problems. Primary picture is just straight out the back though. If we move in a little closer, try to get some light on it. We got a ram mount, ball mount clamp here for the iPad, and it's there. It covers up some of the stuff, but it's there to give me OnX off-road or Google Maps, whatever I want to use for navigation. And I can also Bluetooth off of it to the radio for music. Yes, I still have the factory radio. I haven't changed that out yet. I'm probably going to go with something that'll do CarPlay, kind of make this obsolete, but I want at least a 10-inch screen, so that's the trick that I'm working on there. So you see the inside update, where we've been, what we've got done, and this front up here has taken me quite some time. Just making sure that I had all of the wires to this console, all the wires under the driver's seat, making sure it's all there and doing everything so that when I button it all up, I don't have to open it up a million times to redo it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Sorry it's been a while since I've had one out. I think this one's kind of had a little clarity and some stuff, and probably going to be a 25-30 minute video total. We'll see where it ends up, but you guys will know that when you look at it, and I'll know it when I finish editing it. So anyway, good luck to you guys, and hope you enjoy the video, and come see us on the next video.